Tonight we're going to get started in reclined butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana if you're more familiar with Vinyasa yoga. Just come back onto your back and then toe tips to touch, knees out wide. Since we'll be here for a little bit, you might want, starting my timer, you might want some pillows or blocks or books underneath your knees just to help with like more of a gentle opening. And you can place your hands on your belly if you want to start to focus on your breathing, or down on the ground just to start with some grounding. And whatever position you find yourself in, just start to really slowly close your eyes. See if you can roll your shoulders on your back and just allow yourself to fully rest here. If you had a day like I have, you've been go, 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 although I've been sitting more the last couple of days than I probably have in a really long time. Haven't gotten up much for breaks, ate lunch while working today. So while my mind has been go-go, my body has not. So just be gentle, be mindful of where your body is today. It's going to feel different tonight than last time you practiced. Even earlier today, you might be feeling different than before. So just accept where you're at. And whatever happened before you logged in tonight, just focus your next 60 minutes on what's happening right now. So your mat, being mindful of the feelings in your body, any feelings that come up in any different pose that you're in, modifying with any props when you need them, and just really trying to bring your awareness and attention back to your body and your mat and your breathing and what's happening here in this space. Everything else can wait. You have the next 60 minutes as dedicated time for yourself in your practice. So it's super important to tune into that and really honor that time and space for yourself. Take a deep breath in. A big open mouth, sigh out, let it all go. Anything that happened before you joined class tonight, just see if you can take another deep breath in, and then on the sigh out, you're just going to release it all. Let it all go. So big inhale in, big sigh out, let something go. I will let you guys know when we're halfway through each posture, so if you do want to take any modifications or change anything up tonight, you certainly can do that. As a reminder, I'm here as the guide to offer suggestions for poses for you. If you're not feeling something or you're wanting to do something else, if something else is calling to you, please honor that. This is your time, and I will always respect that. So again, if you find yourself wanting something different or needing something more, listen to that. And that in itself is the practice of yoga. As you're tuning in, just start to pay attention to your breathing. And we're halfway through this posture already, so you need to adjust, do that. But as we start to tune into our breath, and something that we've been practicing for the last several weeks is just trying to slow down our breathing, but also bringing some mindfulness to if we're breathing with our bellies, and how much of an inhale are we really allowing our bellies to fully expand to allow that great air in, and then on the exhale, are you releasing all that air so that you can make space for some new good stuff to come your way. And throughout my day, my work day, when stuff gets crazy, I just always tune back to my breathing. And even last night, or 2 nights ago now, I woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't go back to sleep. And Jeff actually woke up too, at pretty much the same time. And he turned to me and said, use your box breathing, which was so great because he does yoga. You guys don't see him, but he's off to the side every time we do yoga together. And it's resonating with him too. So I hope that you have those takeaways throughout your week, through your day. You can just tune into your breath and just remember your yoga breathing throughout the week. Then I've done my job. And it goes far beyond being on your mat in your space and just where you can take this throughout your life to, either go back to sleep or just get through a challenging situation or whatever it is. So just really try to take these tools with you, and even if it's a few minutes of box breathing, or if you can just do a quick legs at the wall if you're struggling with stuff, it really can have a profound impact. We got about 30 more seconds here. So take what you still need from this pose, feeling the opening that's happening in the front side of your body. And again, just be mindful of what you're doing. If your mind is starting to wander, just try to bring it back to your space. Slowly on your next inhale, start to slowly close your knees back together like a book. And you may want to bring your knees in towards your chest and just gently rock them side to side just to help reawaken your lower back and your spine and settle into the earth. And when you're ready, come up to a tabletop position. And we're gonna take thread the needle. So if you would like to take broken wing or something more intense for a shoulder opener, you can do that. Pose is also another option. But if you'd like to take traditional thread the needle, you'll plant your left palm into the mat. And you can either come to tabletop legs or you can come down to child's pose legs. That's totally up to you. But on your next inhale, reach your right palm up to the sky. Take your gaze up with it. And then bring your palm through the left side of your body with your palm facing up to the sky. And you'll bring your right shoulder down to the mat, the right side of your face down to the mat. If you're in tabletop legs, or even if you're in child's pose legs, your left hip likely is a little bit elevated above your right. So just see if you can nudge your hips down so that they're square to the mat. And then if you want to, you can extend your left fingertips towards the top of your mat just to really get into that shoulder a little bit more. So whatever posture you're in, just breathe into it. Typically, we've been spending a lot of time hunched over computers, and for me, I have been working off of my laptop instead of getting monitors and setting myself up, for long-term work from home. And so I've noticed my neck's been strained because I'm looking down towards my laptop. And even though I'm sitting at a desk, it's just not quite the same. And my my posture in general is just awful from all the sitting I've been doing. So these poses are just really great to undo some of that hunched over posture, or as a yogi joke, we call it slumpasana as they pose, to just really get into your shoulder and open up your heart space a little bit more. So as you are here, just think of that and that gentle opening that's starting to happen in your upper body. And be mindful again of your hips. Your left one is likely trying to sneak up a little bit, so just nudge that back. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Just really tune into your breathing here. We're halfway through this pose already, so try to stay still. It's so easy for us to fidget while we're in these postures, so just try to bring some mindfulness here and know that you're doing so much good for your body by opening yourself up. your mind has already started to wander, just see if you can bring it back to your mat. Not judging that it did wander, but just accepting that it did, and bringing some mindfulness back to your space. You've extended your left palm towards the top of your mat. Bring that in towards your face and ground down into your left palm. Inhale, bring your right palm up to the sky where we started. And then you might want to take some arm circles in one direction, just do some blood flow back. And then in the opposite direction, again, to feel that opening that you've already created in your body. And when you're ready, we're just going to swap that out. So you'll ground down into your right palm. Inhale, take your gaze up, your left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle on this side. Again, be really mindful of your hips. Your right hip likely jumped up, so see if you can bring them back. And then you may want to extend your right palm towards the top of your mat just to get more into your left shoulder. Whatever shape you're in, just try to bring the left side of your face onto the mat, and also close your eyes once you get into a comfortable shape. Knowing that we won't be here forever, and for me, my left side is the worst because I'm left-handed. I do a lot more of my left, so this is extra tight and just extra painful. So if you're righty and you feel like this is a little bit easier for you, you already got through the hard part. So just breathe through. We won't be here forever. We're halfway through the side, so if you do need to adjust, you certainly can, but try to stay still. The biggest challenge in our restorative practice is stillness. We move all day long, and the last thing we want to do is slow down, because usually that means that we're left with our thoughts, and that can be a scary thing. So just really try to use your breath. Know that you are strong and you can get through really tough stuff, including thread the needle. So just find some strength in your breath as you continue to open up for the next little bit here. Got about 30 more seconds left. So take in what you still need from the side, letting go what you don't, bringing your awareness back to your body, knowing that we're about to make a transition. So bracing yourself for that if you did get into a really comfortable situation, as comfortable as you can anyways. And on your next exhale, start to bring your right palm in towards your face, touch firmly into your mat. Inhale, lift your left arm up to the sky, and just, again, take some arm circles in one direction, and then the opposite. And when you're ready, we are going to come into sleeping swan or pigeon pose on the right side. So from your tabletop position, you just slide your right knee in towards your right wrist, and then bring your right shin as parallel as you can to the top of the mat, and point your toes, bringing your ankle in towards your left wrist, and then extend your left leg back behind you. As a reminder, you can always take this on your back if you need, or you can take frog as another variation. But when you're ready, just take a peek over your right shoulder to ground your hips towards the mat. Inhale, take your gaze up. Exhale, start to put your sleeping swan or pigeon to sleep by coming down. And you'll want your forehead or face down on something, so if the mat is not accessible, this is a great time to grab a pillow, or black would be super comfortable, but that's always available as well. And again, if this is just too intense, you can always put a block or a rolled up blanket or a pillow underneath your right hip to help with that opening, so that it's not just hanging out there and you don't have that much pressure on your hip anymore. You can also put a rolled up blanket or mat underneath your right knee if you have knee issues or there's a lot of pain on this right side. That's another really great modification. So just find what works for you, but try to come to a shape that you can hang out in, and try not to move as much as possible, just so that you can get the benefits of the deep stretch, the hip opening, and start to breathe in here. And I mentioned earlier, I haven't been doing much movement at all this week. Been really busy at work, and throughout my day, I keep saying, oh, I need to get up and move and do something, so that I'm not just at my desk all day. And I look at the clock, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't moved my feet in hours, and my hamstrings are screaming at me, and all that good stuff. So I did end up taking my kiddo for a walk after work today, which did help, but it is tough. I mean, even if you're really open and you've got open hips and good posture, it can be really challenging, especially if you lack a lot of tension in your hip area. Some of us hold our tension in our upper back, so thread the needle would have been worse for you than the pigeon pose. But just bringing some mindfulness to how your body's feeling today. And again, that's going to be different each class. Like, even if you did pigeon every single day, it's going to feel different for you each day. So just bring some mindfulness there, knowing that days are the same. You might need to take it on your back today. You might need to add a pillow or a blanket today, and that's okay. So just meet yourself where you're at. Use your breath. We're more than halfway through. I typically tend to talk a lot more during pigeon, just to distract you guys, to distract myself. Stuff sometimes. So use your breathing. Tune back into your breath too. So if you haven't been paying attention to your breathing throughout class, this is a great time to see if you're still using the belly on your inhale. And if you do want to try out box breathing, you can count for 4 or 5 on your inhales, and then same number, whatever number you pick, you can do that after you've inhaled on full in breath, you'll hold at the top for 5 or 4, and then you'll exhale for that same amount, and then you'll hold at the bottom to 10 feet. And that's also a really great technique if you need to calm your mind, ground yourself at any point. You can even do just a couple rounds for a reset for yourself, and it's just a really great way to reconnect. Or if you have insomnia and go to sleep, great tip as well. Take a deep breath in. In a big open mouth, sigh out, let it go. Just imagine the opening you've done in your hip, that anything that you need to leave behind at the end of class, it should be something that you wipe away off of your mat. And slowly on your own time, when you're ready, just to start to make your way out of this, and that can look different for all of us. So take your time, be gentle with yourself. We'll come back to a tabletop shape. You may want to extend your right leg back and press into your toes to really get into your hamstring, to bring some length in your leg. You can also take some hip circles in one direction and then the other. Again, you do what feels good to you. It's going to feel different each night. You might need something more. So when you're ready, we're just going to swap that out to the other side because, we got to stay even and let go of all the stuff and tension that we've been holding on to. So when you're ready, ground both of your palms into the mat. Bring your left knee in towards your left wrist. Bring your left shin parallel to the top of the mat. And then you'll extend that right leg back. Take a moment to properly set up before you pull forward. So just take a peek over your left shoulder. And again, if you need a block or blanket, you can place it under your left hip. And then take your gaze up. And on your exhale, slowly come down. And again, you might need something more on this side if this side's tighter for you. This might be your easy side. You might be really happy right now that you got the top stuff first. Meet yourself where you're at. Using your breath, settling in, slowing your breathing back down. Restorative is so great to get into these postures like pigeon that normally you probably wouldn't be taking on your own. I mean, if you really do hip openers or torture, you might tend to find yourself a pigeon, but most of us probably wouldn't gravitate towards those on a weekly basis. So it just helps us get into parts of the body that we might avoid opening or just spending time to fully rest and restore that our practice allows us to do and allows us to space to do it. And, throughout your week, if you need some more opening and you've been allowing yourself, you can always come into any of these postures. You don't have to commit to a full hour. You can set aside a little bit of time to come into a posture or two and just really help yourself slow down, come to your breathing, get into your deep connective tissue in holding these postures for so long. And we're halfway through, or more than halfway through actually, so keep using your breathing. But it's a great option to, especially if you find yourself really stressed out, and if you know where you carry your attention, that's a really great thing. So if you're more tense in your upper back, your lats are really tight, your shoulders are really tight, you have neck issues, you might need some more shoulder openers throughout the week. And just setting a little bit of time aside, like you may be super busy, but you could just spend 15, 20 minutes just gently open up those areas of your body. Or if you're like me and you're more tight in your hamstrings or low back, hip area, you might need to do some of these postures just to help combat all of the things that we do to ourselves all week, and then seeing if you can continue to work on that. So when we do come into them and it's our weekly practice, it's not as intense, or maybe it will be because today again is different. But if you gently start to bring your body to open, you'll find that you'll be more open to coming to your practice on your own and being more mindful about treating your body well throughout the week. Final few breaths here, taking in what you still need. Then your exhale, just try out something that you no longer need. Leave it behind. Really, really slowly, when you're ready, just start to make your way out. And again, it's going to look different on this side. You want to extend your left leg back, pressing into your toes, or maybe some hip circles will feel good to you. Finding what you need. Bring some blood flow back to that side. And when you're ready, you're going to take a brief step in child's pose. So your knees out about max distance apart, toe tips to touch, sink back towards your heels. And then you'll extend your arms towards the top of your mat, and make sure to bring your forearms down to the mat, resting there, and then also bring your forehead down to the mat. If that is not accessible to you, if you're really tight in your upper body, bring a pillow or stack something up to help the mat come closer to your forehead. And I'll let you know when we're halfway through. So if you do have really tight upper body, lat area, you can crawl your fingertips over to the right side of your mat and gently place the right side of your face on the mat, just to really start to get into the right side body and upper back. So it's a really great option. Again, if you store your tension in your shoulder area, you're just really tight there right now, just try that. And again, I'll let you know when we're halfway through, just so you can swap that out. Closing your eyes if you haven't done so already. Keep mindfully sinking your feet back to your heels. And just use your breath here as we really get into the child's pose. We're halfway through, so if you want to, you can come back to the center, and then you slowly make your way over towards the left side of your mat, bringing the left side of your face down, and sinking back into your heels. Using your breath as your guide. If you're just in traditional child's pose, just see if you can mindfully sink your hips back towards your heels a little bit more. Really pressing the center of your forehead down to the mat for some grounding. And use your breath to help you get through. Back to the breathing. You've been paying attention to that, have your mind been wandering. Try to bring your awareness and attention back to what you're doing right now. Come over to the left side, slowly make your way back to center. And when you're ready, just make your way to a comfortable seated position. And we're going to take seated forward fold. It's your choice on the variation. I'm going to demo traditional seated forward fold. You can do wide-legged if you want. Totally up to you. You will want some props that you can stack up in between your legs. So if you've got a couple yoga blocks or you just got some pillows, you might need to play around with the height of things. The goal is to get your forehead down on whatever you're using. So you might need to stack up a couple things and play around. But when you're ready, just shimmy your weight off of your seat so that the fleshy part of your seat is out of the way and your sit bones are really grounded onto the earth. Inhale, take your arms up, your gaze up. Exhale, reach towards the front of your space until your spine starts to really round. And that's when you can let your head and neck hang heavy. You can find the blocks, pillows, whatever with your forehead. And just allow yourself to hang out in this opening. And if you've got tight hamstrings like I do, these poses are never fun, but they're so helpful for opening and helping with low back issues. So really use your breath here. Really just be mindful of how your back and hamstrings are feeling. You might need to back off a little bit and build up your props a little bit more if your low back is really starting to open too much, too quickly. So just, again, be mindful of that. And I'll let you know when we're halfway through. Sometimes when you're hanging out in this forward fold, you can get a little bit deeper and you can move some of your props around about halfway through this. So just tune into your breath. Know, again, that you won't be here forever. halfway through. So if you want to see if you can lower your props, this is the opportunity to do so. If you're happy where you're at, just continue to hang out here. But on every exhale, just imagine that you can bring your chest just a little bit closer to your thighs. Seeing if on every exhale you can just melt more into this forward fold, using your breath as a guide. And again, be really mindful of where your body is at and what it's telling you. So if you're like, this is a lot, I am pushing myself anyways, really try to honor the fact that your body is asking you to back off, and you might need more props tonight than usual if you've got really tight low back or hamstrings, or perhaps you're really open tonight and you can get farther than you have in a while. That's awesome too. Wherever you're at, just meet yourself there. And don't judge what that is, good or bad. It just is. So just practice acceptance, knowing that each day is going to be different. Seeing where you can soften, perhaps the muscles in your face, if you're clenching into your jaw, or maybe your eyebrows are furrowed together, or you're just holding up some tension in your upper body. Just see where you can soften and connect here. Slowly on your next inhale, you can make your way out. You'll want to move your props off to the side, and then bring your hands behind your low back with your fingertips facing your glutes. Bend your knees, plant your feet into the floor, and then just windshield wiper your knees side to side just to loosen up your low back. We felt that for quite a bit, so be gentle with yourself as you come out of this. If any other movement we feel good to you, do that here. And when you're ready, we're going to come down to our backs. So slowly, one vertebrae at a time, start to make your way down to your spine. Allowing yourself to totally touch down here. Inhale your knees in towards your chest. See out your arms. And on your exhale, bring your knees over towards the left side of your face. And your right shoulder likely popped off of your mat. So just see if you can ground your shoulder blades into the mat. You might need to come off of your twist a little bit, or place a block or a blanket in between or underneath your knees to help out with that. And then once you found yourself in a good supine twist, you can start to take your gaze over towards your right fingertips, and then softly close your eyes once you've made your way there. Just really fully resting in this twist posture, which is so good for so many things. Twists help aid digestion. So they're really good in the morning time. They're also really good just to give your internal organs just a light massage and bringing them out a little bit. And they also are really good for low back. So if you've got low back issues, especially if you have that tight hamstring, tight psoas situation, twists are really good for a gentle low back opener as well, and also a hip opener too. So multiple benefits, multiple reasons to love twists. They're also easier to relax in. So just roll your shoulders on your back, settle in here, and use your breath to just slowly get the benefits out of this twist. We're halfway through the side, so if you need to adjust, you can, but otherwise stay still. You can always bring your left palm to your belly to start to really pay attention to your breathing again, to help slow down your breathing, to help you get ready for bed. Gain more attention, bring some mindfulness there. So easy to get caught up in what you're doing with your body or your mind starts to wander, but if you can really ground yourself and pay close attention to your breath and mindfully slow it down, it really does help with decompressing from the day, letting things go, getting yourself ready to really wind down and slow down for bedtime. So really try to spend the next couple minutes here just really tuning into that. Attention, bring some awareness there. Slowly on your next inhale, bring your knees back in towards center. You might want to sway from side to side just to release your low back. And when you're ready, we're going to take that on the other side. So tee out your arms, start to bring your knees over towards the right side of your space. Again, being mindful of your left shoulder blade. Let's pop off your mat, seeing if you can round your shoulders back down. And if you do need a prop on this side or a couple props just to help you get into this, just pay attention to that. And when you found a really good shape for your body, you start to take your gaze over towards your left fingertips, and then you'll just softly close your eyes once your head is facing in that direction. You should feel some light openings starting to happen in your low back and in your left here hip area. And again, if you started to really pay attention to your breath and want to continue that just so that you can be mindful and help slow that down, bring your right palm to your belly. Just use your breathing here. Help you ground and just feeling comfortable. halfway through the side. So if you need to adjust, please do so. Otherwise, really try to stay still. It's so easy to fidget. We've been laying here for a little bit, so really try to fully relax your body and pay attention to any areas of tension that each time you still might be holding on to. So see if you can soften those areas or some breath there to help you relax a little bit more. Slowly, on your next inhale, so you bring your knees back in towards center. And you can either sway from side to side. If you want to, you can grab on for the outer edges of your feet for a happy baby by bringing your knees in toward your armpits. And you can just stay here in stillness, or you can rock from side to side just to really open up your low back. And if you have any other postures in your practice that you're craving tonight, you can certainly take those. But if you're ready for your final resting shape, your Shavasana, and start to make your way there. And you can take legs up the wall, you can just stretch out. Sometimes it feels good to put blocks or pillows underneath the back of your legs just to really help open you up here. You can bring your hands to your belly or down, facing down to the ground just for some more grounding. But whatever shape you choose, just try to settle in. And Shavasana is one of the most beneficial poses, but one of the hardest ones to actually make space and time for. So just see where you can soften any areas of tension, catch yourself holding on to something in your face, your facial muscles. Maybe you can relax your jaw, roll your shoulders on your back. And on your next exhale, just start to fully relax and enjoy your rest. Asana is here for you as long as you need. You're in your space, and if you are feeling the need to rest here longer, just tune out the sound of my voice. I will close out Zoom when we're done and you to rest as long as you need. But if you are ready to reawaken enough just to finish out the rest of your stuff for the evening or just get into bed, bring some attention back to your body. You might want to slowly wiggle your fingers and your toes. And very slowly make your way to one side or the other for a brief stop and feet up. Closing your eyes, thanking yourself for coming up tonight, as challenging as that can be. You did it. And when you're ready on your own time, start to make your way to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and softly closing your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Big open mouth, sigh out, let it go. Breathe in something awesome, something that you still need for your week. Breathe out something that you don't. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate each and every one of you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your evening and sleep so good tonight. Namaste.